Hi guys, today we're going to be working on another Christmas tree design. As I mentioned in my last video, I wasn't real thrilled with the way those came out, so I went in a totally different direction and came up with this design. And this is a little bit more labor intensive, especially since I didn't have any Christmas tree stickers or stencils. I actually decided to make my own. And so I used some blue painter's tape and an Exacto Blade to basically cut out little tree-shaped stencils. And I did film that, so I'm going to go ahead and insert that here so that you guys can see how I made them. I'll also insert an annotation in case you want to skip over that. And then we'll be back and I'll show you the rest of the design. So I'm just going to show you guys quickly how I created my little painter's tape stencils. I've got a couple pieces of blue painter's tape here, and I've kind of just marked it off into sections, and in each section I have drawn a little Christmas tree shape. And to get my little Christmas tree shapes and keep them kind of even, I created another stencil, and you can see it's just got half of a Christmas tree design, so I would draw that half on, then flip it over and draw the other half. So both sides are pretty even and all the Christmas trees are pretty similar size. And what I have this paint stuck on is just the top of one of my plastic shoe boxes, just as something, you know, to work on so that I'm not cutting directly into my desk. I am working with an Exacto Blade, which is of course very sharp, so if you choose to do this, be very careful not to cut yourself. I'm just going to run the Exacto down this line here and cut this section free. If you see here, let's see if I can get the corner to lift up. Yeah, so you see that this little square is now separate from these next ones. So to cut out the Christmas tree, I'm basically just going to do a series of small cuts along the lines. And you just want to be patient and take your time. Try to be especially careful at the corners that your lines are meeting up, so that when you go to peel this off, that it comes up nice and clean. So I've got the one side done. Now I'm just going to repeat it on the other side. And if you have already some Christmas tree shaped stickers, that would be an easier way to accomplish this, but I wanted to do it and didn't have any stickers, so I'm creating my own. On the bottom here, I'm just going to draw down and create kind of like a little tree stump, which will also create a little tab that I can grab to help when I have it on my nail. I'm going to lift up this corner that I started at before, and hopefully this will just neatly pull apart. So you can see there I'm pulling up the outside and the Christmas tree is left behind. If you have any corners that aren't cut fully, you can reach in and add a little extra cut. But basically just gently peel it off. Since I'm going to be using the outline as well, I don't want to tear it. So there you're left with the Christmas tree shape and also the outline. So if you want, you can try and reuse these. I found it easier, since they kind of get covered with polish during the sponging, to just have several. And I made more than I needed in case some of my cutting doesn't go that smoothly. Then I don't have to draw another one that's already ready for me to create. So the next part is going to be the sponging. Okay, so once you have your stencils all ready to go, you're going to be using some sponges to apply the color. This is just a little wedge of sponge, and I cut that off of the larger round sponge. This is just a generic artist sponge that I pick up at Michael's. They come in a pack of 3 for just a couple dollars, and you can cut off a little wedge as you need it. Once the polish is dried on there, that's pretty much it. So you do have to either move to a different corner or the other side, or actually cut off the dried bits. So first of all, you want your base color to be completely dry, of course. I've been wearing this for a day, so it's plenty dry. And the base color I'm using is China Glaze Glittering Garland, which is just a gorgeous dark green. And the color that I'm going to be using to sponge with is Sally Hansen Silver Lining. Sometimes when I sponge, I prefer to have like a paper plate or something to apply the polish on, but for this, since the color is so sheer, I'm going to be just applying it directly to the sponge. I've grabbed one of my little Christmas trees on a pair of tweezers, just a little bit easier to grab that way, and I'm going to go ahead and just get that centered as well as I can on my middle nail there, and then go ahead and press it down. And, you know, if you're not happy with the placement, look at it from a couple different angles. You know, pull it up and replace it. As long as there is still some stick left on it, you can replace it as many times as possible. Press it down firmly so there's no gaps around the edges where polish can leak in. And then on the sponge, I'm just going to apply some of my silver. And then I'm going to just sponge right over that little stencil. And this particular silver is pretty sheer, so I am going to apply a little bit more. It's just going to depend on what color you're using, how many layers you may need to apply to get it to the opacity that you want. So just sponge around, pay kind of special attention to any of the little corners, because if you miss getting polish in there, your design is not going to look complete. So once you're happy with the coverage, I'm going to just peel the sticker off, or stencil, again using my tweezers. Just going to gently pull it up, and there you can see the Christmas tree. So I like this one quite a bit better than my first attempt at Christmas trees this year. So certainly feel free to leave a comment and let me know which one is your favorite. And if you try either one of them, I'd love to see pictures on my Facebook fan page, which is linked in the information box. Hope you guys all have a wonderful holiday, and thanks for watching.